You didn't forget. That word you lost, that name that slipped away, that moment you walked into a room and stood there, completely blank. That wasn't your memory failing you. That was your brain sending you a signal. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what that signal means and what to do about it. Because here's what most people don't know and what most videos won't tell you. Forgetting, at certain ages and in certain patterns, is not a malfunction. It's a symptom of something very specific happening inside your brain. Something that, once you understand it, you can actually change. Stay with me. What I'm about to share with you is going to reframe everything you think you know about memory and aging. Let me describe a scene that may feel familiar to you. You're in the middle of a conversation, maybe with a friend, your child, your spouse, and suddenly a word just vanishes. It was right there. You can feel the shape of it, the weight of it, and yet it refuses to come. Or maybe it's a name, someone you've known for years. And in that moment, your mind returns nothing, just silence. Or you're in your kitchen and you've opened the refrigerator for something, but you cannot for the life of you remember what that something was. These experiences are deeply unsettling, and the reason they unsettle us so much is not simply because they're inconvenient. It's because of what we fear they mean. We live in a culture that treats memory loss as a countdown. Every forgotten name feels like a step toward something darker, toward helplessness, toward dependence, toward losing yourself. I understand that fear. I've sat across from hundreds of patients, men and women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, who walked into my clinic not just with memory concerns, but with a quiet terror in their eyes that they were fading. And the first thing I tell every one of them is this: fear is the enemy of memory, not age, not time, not even biology. When you are afraid, genuinely afraid that your brain is failing, your body produces a stress hormone called cortisol. And cortisol, when it becomes chronic, is one of the single most damaging substances to the memory centers of your brain. So the loop becomes this: you forget something, you panic. The panic releases cortisol. The cortisol makes it harder to remember. You forget more. You panic more. I want to break that loop today. Let me give you a different picture of what's going on. Your brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons. These neurons connect to each other through pathways like roads in a city. Every memory you have, every skill, every word in your vocabulary, all of it lives in those connections. When you're young, your brain builds these roads constantly. It's construction season all the time. As you age, the construction slows, not because the brain becomes incapable, but because it becomes selective. The brain begins to prioritize the pathways you use most and allows the less traveled ones to become overgrown. Think of it like a forest trail. If you walk it every day, it stays clear. If you stop using it, the forest takes it back. But the trail didn't disappear. It's still there, underneath the overgrowth. And with a little effort, it can be cleared again. This is the foundation of something neuroscientists call neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself, build new connections, and restore old ones. And here is the most important thing I can tell you today. Neuroplasticity does not stop at 60. It does not stop at 70. It does not stop at 80. The research is clear on this. Your brain retains the ability to form new neural connections throughout your entire life. The speed changes, the ease changes, but the capacity does not disappear. In fact, some of the most fascinating research in modern neuroscience comes from studying what we call superagers, individuals in their 80s and 90s whose memory and cognitive function test at the level of someone 20 to 30 years younger. What are they doing differently? Not pills, not expensive technology. Mostly, they're doing 3 things consistently. 1. They engage in regular novelty. New experiences, new learning, new stimulation. 2. They stay socially and emotionally connected to other people. 3. They move their bodies in ways that increase blood flow to the brain. Notice what's on that list, and notice what isn't. Now, I want to be honest with you about something. There is a lot of content out there about brain exercises, word puzzles, crosswords, apps on your phone. And while these aren't harmful, most of them are not giving your brain what it actually needs to build new pathways. Why? Because the brain responds to challenge, not to routine. The most powerful stimulus for neuroplasticity comes from something called dual task engagement, asking your brain and body to do 2 different types of tasks at the same time. Here's why this is so powerful. When you do one simple task, say counting backward or naming fruits, only certain brain regions are activated. But when you simultaneously perform a controlled physical movement while doing a cognitive task, you force multiple brain regions to communicate with each other at the same time. The frontal lobe, which handles attention and decision-making, the temporal lobe, which stores and retrieves memory, and the cerebellum, which manages coordination and rhythm. When these regions are all active together, the connections between them strengthen. It's like calling 3 friends on a group call instead of 1. More communication, stronger relationships. And here is where controlled breathing enters the picture. Because this is the missing piece in most brain exercise routines. Your brain uses 20% of all the oxygen in your body. It is the most oxygen-hungry organ you have by far. Yet when we are stressed, anxious, or mentally foggy, we tend to breathe shallowly, which restricts oxygen delivery to the brain. Deep, slow, rhythmic breathing does 2 things. It increases oxygen in your bloodstream, and it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the calm-down system, which reduces cortisol and puts your brain in an optimal state for learning and remembering. When you combine intentional breathing with controlled movement and a cognitive challenge, you create a 3-part stimulus that is uniquely powerful. That is the foundation of what I'm about to teach you. I want to walk you through a 1-minute routine that incorporates all 3 elements we just discussed. It requires no equipment, no standing up, no special physical ability. Before we begin, let me explain what we're doing and why, so you can do it with intention, not just motion. Sit near the front edge of your chair, feet flat on the floor. Spine gently tall, not rigid, just upright. Rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes for a moment. Take 1 slow breath in through your nose. Count silently. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for just a moment. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Your nervous system just shifted. You're ready. Now for phase 1, oxygenation and activation. This lasts 30 seconds. We're going to do a slow alternating arm raise. Simple, controlled. Raise your right arm forward until it is parallel to the floor. As you raise it, inhale slowly through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower your right arm back to your thigh. As it comes down, exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now raise your left arm. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower it. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 1 full cycle. You will continue this alternating movement slowly and steadily for 30 seconds. The key here is control. Slow is better than fast. If you rush, you undo the benefits of the breathing. Let your breath set the pace, not the other way around. Now phase 2, the cognitive challenge. This is the last 30 seconds. Without changing the movement or the breathing, we add a mental task. As you raise and lower your arms, begin naming items in a category, out loud if possible. Start simple. Name fruits. As your right arm rises, say apple. As it lowers, think of the next one. As your left arm rises, say banana. Left arm lowers, say mango. Continue. Orange, strawberry, grape, anything that comes to mind. If your mind goes blank, do not panic. That blankness is not failure. It's your brain actively searching. Keep breathing, keep moving. Let the next word come on its own. The goal is not speed. The goal is sustained, active engagement. After 60 seconds, stop. Take one full, deep breath. Notice how you feel. Many people notice a subtle clarity, a quiet alertness within the first few sessions. Others take longer. Both are normal. This is not a performance. It is a practice. Now let me show you how to keep this working week after week, because your brain is extraordinary at adaptation. If you do the same thing every day without change, the routine becomes automatic. And automatic means easy, and easy means less stimulation. Week 1. Use simple categories: fruits, animals, colors, items in a kitchen. One category per day, different each time. Week 2. Switch to letter-based retrieval. Choose a letter, say the letter M, and name as many words as you can that begin with that letter while continuing the movement. This forces deeper retrieval. Week 3. Try reverse counting. Count backward from 50, skipping every other number, so 50, 48, 46, while moving and breathing. If you lose your place, return calmly to where you left off. The recovery itself is part of the exercise. Week 4 and beyond. Get personal. Name cities you've visited, names of childhood friends, recipes you know how to cook. Personal memory retrieval activates different circuits than abstract categories and carries added emotional benefit. The measure of the right level is simple. If it feels effortless, it's time to change it. Mild mental effort, not strain, not stress, is the optimal zone. Now let me share 3 supporting habits that will significantly amplify what you get from this routine. Habit 1. Hydrate first. Your brain is approximately 75% water. Even mild dehydration, before you feel thirsty, measurably reduces attention and short-term memory function. Drinking a full glass of water before your daily routine gives your neurons better conductivity. Think of it as tuning the instrument before playing. Habit 2. Anchor it to your morning. Habits that float, that you plan to do sometime during the day, rarely survive. Attach this routine to something you already do without thinking. Right before your morning coffee. Right after brushing your teeth. Right when you sit down after breakfast. Repetition at the same time each day builds the habit far faster. Habit 3. Say it out loud. When doing the cognitive phase, speaking your answers aloud, even quietly, activates the language and auditory cortex in addition to the memory circuits, adding a third layer of neural engagement. It may feel slightly awkward at first. Do it anyway. Before I close, let me tell you about 3 mistakes that reduce results so you can avoid them. Mistake 1 is rushing. Moving your arms quickly while breathing shallowly defeats the purpose entirely. You lose the oxygenation benefit and you add a low level of physical stress. Slower is almost always better. Mistake 2 is doing it while distracted. This is not background activity. The television cannot be on. You cannot be in a conversation. Your full attention is what carves the neural pathway. A divided mind produces divided results. Mistake 3 is expecting overnight transformation. Neuroplasticity works on the timescale of weeks, not hours. The people I've seen benefit most from this routine are those who committed to it daily for at least 4 weeks before evaluating results. Treat it like a new plant. Water it consistently. Don't dig it up to check if the roots are growing. Let me bring everything together now. Memory lapses are common as we age, but they are not a verdict. They are a signal that certain neural pathways are underused and undernourished. Your brain is not breaking down, it is waiting. Neuroplasticity is real. It is active in your brain right now, at whatever age you are, and it responds to the right kind of stimulation. The 60-second routine you learned today combines 3 of the most effective stimuli for brain health: deep rhythmic breathing, controlled physical coordination, and active cognitive retrieval, all at the same time. 1 minute a day is not a cure, but it is a beginning, and beginnings, done consistently, become transformations. I'd like to leave you with one thought. Every time you choose to challenge your brain, instead of sitting back and accepting the fog, you are sending a signal of your own. To your neurons, to your memory, to yourself. That signal says, I am not done. I am still here. I am still capable. And your brain hears that signal. Start today. If this was useful to you, I'd love to hear about your experience. Try the routine for 7 days and come back to leave a comment. Not about miracles, just about what you noticed. Was your mind a little more alert in the morning? Did a name come back to you that usually slips away? Did you feel even a small shift? Your experience matters, not just for you, but for the many others who might be watching those comments, wondering whether to try it themselves. If you want more science-based content like this on memory, aging, and brain health, subscribing ensures you won't miss what's coming next. Take care of your brain. It has taken care of you your whole life.